Okay. So hello everyone. Welcome to All Things. Hold on. Sorry, just a second. Okay. Okay. Welcome to All Things Clinique Skincare Masterclass in honor of Valentine's Day. So we are here with two Clinique experts, Laureen Alarcon and Sandra Beltran. Laureen works at the Clinique counter inside Macy's, and Sandra's a field executive and trainer. And she and all of the Clinique experts are skincare advocates and believer SPF, as I am as well, and exfoliating. So Sandra, I'm gonna go ahead and let you take over, and we're so excited to learn from you.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to be here with all of you virtually. What an amazing thing that we have been able to connect in a virtual platform, through a very, interesting, I'm going to say almost year. It's hard to believe that we started this virtual journey almost a year ago. But I'm going to have Laureen just quickly introduce herself. That way you guys can see and put a face to her. She is our manager over at the Montebello store. And I'm super excited to have her and her wealth of experience and knowledge and all of the great energy and vibe that she brings to the store and to the team. So Laureen, you want to say hi?
Hi, I'm Laureen. Welcome to the class. I'm excited.
I also want to let you guys know that we have an account coordinator. Her name is Ariana, and Ariana is going to be in the chat. So throughout this presentation and through this conversation that I'm going to present to you guys, some of you, I'm so excited that you have your cameras on because I get to see you and I get to put a face to you. And some of you might be shy and you have your camera off, and that's totally fine. And you might want to ask a question. You can go ahead and type it in the chat. So, your questions don't have to be Clinique related. They can be skincare related. They could be, a product that you might be using from another brand. So whatever they might be, I want you to feel comfortable and confident to type it into the chat. And I'm going to have Ariana just quickly say hi so you guys can see a face to her and know who she is.
Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Great. I also want to introduce Elba, which is another account coordinator for us at Macy's. And she is going to be partnering with me in this conversation, asking me questions that I'll be able to answer and bring to life. And Elba also brings a wealth of experience and knowledge to Clinique. So Elba, you want to start off this conversation?
Yes, hi, how are you guys? Thank you for joining us today. And any questions that you guys have, feel free just to put them in the chat or ask us, unmute yourself.
Perfect. So Elba, where should we start this morning?
I don't know, Sandra, so maybe we could talk about the brand itself.
Absolutely.
How long has Clinique been around?
Hard to believe, you guys, but Clinique has been around for over 50 years. To be exact, we are going to hit our 53rd birthday this year as a company.
That's awesome.
Right? So when, with 53 years, we have a lot of credibility. We have a lot of amazing products. We have a very rich product history and brand history that we bring to life. We're a brand of storytellers and really storytelling about Clinique and who we are as a company, what we stand for, and really what makes us different.
Okay. And Sandra, how long have you been with Clinique? Because you're full of knowledge, so you must be with Clinique for many, many years. So tell us about your history.
Oh my God. So hard to believe, you guys, but I started with Clinique 21 years ago. 21 years ago this August, I started with Clinique. I was a very young girl.
You still are. You still are.
I feel young in the inside. And I feel like I've taken really great care of my skin. I'm fortunate and blessed, that I have started with Clinique. I was 23 years old when I started with Clinique. And prior to Clinique, I started with Estee Lauder when I was 19. So I was introduced to using, great skincare and using skincare right out of high school, basically. And, I really didn't understand how important it was to use, skincare and skincare that was custom fit to me and my needs and my concerns. But I learned that right away, and I fell in love with beauty. Very interesting, story, but my career path, I wanted to become a police officer. Like that was my goal. I
Wow.
wanted to follow in my brother's footsteps. And me and my brother are 9 years apart. But he left the house when he was 18 years old. I was like, like 9 years old, and he left to the military. And after he came back from serving in the Marines, he became a police officer. So like my brother was like, up here in terms of like, like a goal. And I started this job as I was going to college, working at Robinson's May. And I fell in love with beauty, and I fell in love with talking to women and, talking to women about their needs and their concerns, and finding, the right skincare products, because there's so many brands and there's so many products out there that it's really hard to find what's good for your skin and find things that work for you.
Mhm.
So I've been with Clinique, like I said, almost 21 years in so many different positions. I started off as a consultant. I became a counter manager, like Laureen. I was an account coordinator for 3 years. And I've been now a field executive for almost 16, with, I want to say 15, no, 11 of those years in education. And I just have a passion for teaching. I have a passion for educating, not only our clients, all of you here, but our consultants and just, anyone that I touch, I just love to influence and to teach.
That's incredible. Congratulations to all your success.
Yay, girl.
Thank you.
Something to celebrate.
For
Absolutely.
sure. Okay, Sandra, so since you use the brand, what are your top products?
All right. So I'm going to keep it real, you guys. And some of you tal vez hablan español. So si quieren, yo puedo hablar en español, puedo hablar en inglés. I can toggle back and forth. But si queremos comenzar, you should always have a good cleansing regimen. I see a lot of women who spend a lot of money using, serums y sueros y, cremas que cuestan mucho dinero, that cost a lot of money, and no usan limpieza básica. Like limpieza básica es donde quieren comenzar. And, again, yo he trabajado por Clinique por ya 21 años, y esto aquí is my basic skincare. And let me actually flip these so that you can see them in the order. But this is my basic skincare regimen, which is 3-step. And I can see, Juliana, you have some guide of our products, which is amazing. I have it here too, so I'm glad you're taking some notes. But skincare basics and using a good cleansing system is where you should always start, because a good cleansing system is something that you're going to use twice a day. You're going to use morning and night, and it's going to help to cleanse your skin. It's going to help to prepare your skin for all of the other amazing products that you're going to use on top. And the most incredible thing about Clinique, you guys, is that we are a custom fit brand. So there's not a cookie cutter, estos productos son para todos. Everything is custom fit, based, and it's called 3-step, Marina, 3-step skincare. And we have a tool that we use on counter, which is, we call it our computer. This was actually designed back in 1969. And it was modeled behind, remember when you didn't know your shoe size and you had to go into the shoe store and they got out this metal tool? And
Yes. Yeah.
and then they would slide the knob to determine your, the size of your foot.
Uh-huh.
Well, this tool, we have a metal one on counter, and these little knobs, they slide. But it was designed over, that shoe measuring tool, because at the time her name was Carol Phillips, and she was writing an article about Clinique, and she was interviewing dermatologists and doctors up the streets of New York City. and her feet started to swell up because she was tired. And so she had to go in and get a new pair of shoes. And that's where the idea came for this tool. But what makes it unique, you guys, is that it has, questions that we ask, based on your skincare concerns, because that's where we start our custom fit conversation with all of you is based on your skin, where you're oily, where you're dry, what are your complexion concerns. I know you might be looking at me and you're like, wow, she has great skin. Well, 3-step skincare twice a day for 21 years. Facial soap comes in 3 formulas. I use the oily skin formula. So for me, this helps to control my oil that I have in my T-zone. It has menthol, so it really feels clean and fresh on my skin. When you're a drier skin, you need to put a little bit of more moisture in your skin. So there's ingredients like glycerin that help to keep your skin smooth and comfortable. Exfoliation. I'm a huge believer of exfoliation. I know that, Janet, you mentioned it when you introduced me. Exfoliation, and if you don't know what exfoliation is, I'm going to grab my tape. How many of you guys have used products that are grainy, like in your body wash? And I see you nodding your head, Jay Suarez. So when you use those grainy ingredients, what it's doing, it's sloughing off dead skin that you have on your body. And we have layers and layers of dead skin. And I'm going to show you this tape on the back of my hand. So this is a demonstration that we use on counter. So when you take off this tape, what you see, and you see all of this dead skin, that's layers and layers of dead skin that we have on our face and we have on our body. And if you don't take those dead layers of skin off, whatever products that you're using, whether it be a serum or a moisturizer, have to, fight through that dead skin so that it can do its job. So at Clinique, we believe you exfoliate twice a day. This is not the physical form of exfoliation that you're used to with the scrub. It's a chemical form. So it comes in 4 different numbers. I use the highest because I'm a big believer of exfoliation and getting new skin to the surface faster. And so the amount of that chemical ingredient goes up in amount based on the number that you're using. So again, it's custom fit. We ask you questions to determine your skin type, and then we give you a recommendation. So that's twice a day. And that's now removing all of that dead skin and really preparing your skin for hydration, which, let me turn that bottle around so you can see it. I use the gel. Again, I'm oilier skin, but this also comes in a lotion. And this is probably one of the most famous products that we have at Clinique. We gift it out a lot. It's the #1 selling moisturizer in the world. One is sold on an average every 3 seconds. So like literally every 3 seconds, we sell one of these somewhere in the world. And so what's really great, with innovation and technology, which is another, amazing thing about Clinique, is that we're constantly doing research and development. We just don't say, a product is good. We continue to test it because our environment changes. Our ozone layer has become thinner and thinner. It's something that's going to continuously happen. So our skin and the way that our skin responds to the environment changes. So we have to really formulate products that are right so that you're seeing the results that you're looking for. And so for me, I have hyperpigmentation. I'm Latina. So las manchas me salen en la cara. In my last pregnancy with my soon-to-be 5-year-old who's turning 21, I got a lot of uneven pigmentation. So I use ID with a white cartridge. This cartridge is custom fit, and you drop it in, and this has an ingredient called Japanese Angelica extract that helps to target the uneven pigmentation that I have and helps to break it apart.
What is that product called again, Sandra? Sorry.
So this is called ID.
ID.
And the most amazing thing about ID, you guys, and I see, Juliana, you're looking at your product sheet, is that it comes in different bases. So what I have on right now, and the reason, my skin looks pretty flawless as I'm looking in the mirror or my laptop screen.
I love it.
I don't see my mancha, no las veo. is because I'm using the BB. So BB is a different base, and the BB has color blooming pigments that actually adapt to your skin tone. So based on your skin tone, it's going to give you a more even complexion. And I have it in the blue cartridge because the blue cartridge has lactic acid, it has alpha hydroxys that also help exfoliate my skin. And so when you exfoliate and you remove all that dead skin, you speed up the regeneration of new cells, which is new skin. So I'm all about keeping my skin looking younger longer. And
Same.
I change. I have different formulas based on my skin and what changes I'm seeing. And so I like the blue cartridge in my BB. So those are like my basics that are super, super important is having a good cleansing system, because you have that foundation for a good cleansing system. Anything you use on top is going to work amazing for you.
Hey, Sandra.
Yes.
The BB cream, the tinted, so obviously for women with pigment, they
Yep.
probably would use something like that over that first over that first bottle that you had pointed out.
So no, you would use one or the other. So like at night, I'm not going to use my, BB because I don't need any pigment at night when I'm sleeping. So during the day, this is my system. And then at night, I'm sorry, I said that opposite. So my system during the day has the BB, and then my system at night has the white cartridge with the ID. So you would use one or the other.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. And so, our basic system is called 3-step. That's what we call it, what we've called it since we developed our brand 53 years ago. And what's really great, and, the fact that we've been around for, over 50 years is that we have 50 years of allergy science behind us. We have 50 years of credibility. A dermatologist developed our brand, and his name was Norman Orendrike. And he actually developed and created 3-step skincare, and he would recommend it in his practice because he had a dermatologist office in New York City, and he would prescribe 3-step skincare to his patients. And so when Clinique was developed, he brought that over to our brand. And how amazing is it that 53 years later, we're still creating great skin. So the next thing that's really important after you have a good foundation is using a good serum. And a serum, un suero, es algo que es muy importante porque tiene diferentes ingredientes more concentrated que ayudan a trabajar para hacer diferentes cosas en su piel. And I say that because, serums come in different types of formulas or different products depending on your skincare concern. So here are 4 different examples of serums that we carry at Clinique, but again, they're custom fit based on concern. So for me, because I have the uneven pigmentation and the dark spots, even better clinical dark spot corrector is my must-have, because this helps to break apart pigmentation in the skin. It also helps to speed up cell turnover. It helps to target those spots in my skin so that I have a more even complexion. And I use it along with a vitamin C booster and my ring light right here. Let me turn off this light because I'm seeing, okay, I think that might be better. The vitamin C is a booster that we sell that you can use along with any of the serums that we have. So it can be used along with Even Better Clinical if you're concerned with dark spots. It can be used along with Smart, which is a serum that's good for the 4 major signs of aging: lines, wrinkles, discoloration, dark spots in the skin, loss of elasticity. You can use it along with it. And the reason that I love our vitamin C booster is because think of this as fresh squeezed orange juice that you make on a Sunday morning for brunch. So when you make fresh squeezed orange juice, it's only good probably for like the 2 days when you make it, right? Because it's fresh. versus a concentrated orange juice that you buy that can sit in your refrigerator for a couple of weeks. So this has very potent, strong ingredients, that vitamin C. And vitamin C is an important ingredient because it helps to reverse environmental damage in the skin. And so when you're looking at dark spots, when you're looking at lines, when you're looking at wrinkles, loss of elasticity, that vitamin C is helping to reverse that damage on your skin so that you have a more brighter, even, smoother, softer complexion. And I can see a question came up. You apply a serum morning and night. So your serum would be used morning and night. And when you think about your steps in terms of product usage, you always use products from thinnest to thickest. So your lighter serums, your lighter textures you put on first, followed by your heavier creams on top. And when you think
Sandra, we have a question. What was the second serum that you showed?
the
Can you
second
show it
one
again?
Smart.
is
Thank you.
Smart. And that one is for the 4 major signs of aging. So again, when you put them on thin to thick, they absorb faster. Your thin ones absorb in, and then your thicker ones can absorb over those thinner products that you just put on. Versus if you do it opposite, you're trying to put on a thin serum or a moisturizer that's a little heavier and thicker in coverage.
Love that. Thank you. I'm always confused what to apply first.
Well, it can be so confusing, especially
Yeah.
you open up your medicine cabinet and you're like, whoa.
Exactly.
Sandra, we have another question.
Yep.
Marina says, someone on Facebook is asking how one can step by a consult with you, Sandra. So someone wants to have a consultation.
Okay. So the amazing thing, you guys, is that, and again, I want to thank you, Janet, for, initiating this amazing opportunity, and, Lorraine, for your amazing relationship with the mall. But this is something that we can conduct on a one-to-one, virtual appointment. You would book through Lorraine over at the Montebello store, and she would set you up with your virtual appointment where we can talk one-on-one. And virtual appointments can be anywhere between, 10 minutes to 30 minutes based on your time. It's something that we offer as a service, especially, knowing that not everybody feels comfortable and confident stepping out into the mall or, stepping out outside. So, Lorraine has the ability to bring the in-store experience to you on our virtual platform where she can book an appointment. With myself, with her, or with Elva. We have many different experts. Great question. With vitamin C, though, I want to show you the packaging and how to use this because it's a little quirky because, like I said, it's like fresh squeezed orange juice. So up on top, there's this little push button, and there's an invisible little seal inside the bottle, and then there's ingredients in here that create that emulsion, the texture of the serum. So you actually have to, and I don't know if you can hear it, but you break the seal. You hear that snap. It's like your cereal when you pour milk into it, you hear like the crinkling. So it's like that. You drop that vitamin C powder into the serum, and then you have to shake this because then you have to shake the actual fresh vitamin C inside the serum. And I'm going to say you shake it for a good 2 minutes, walk around the house. If you have music on like Janet had, playing something, con las cumbias, la banda MS, Elva.
That's right.
Limpiar la casa.
A limpiar la casa. My girls know, cuando pongo el radio en la mañana, a limpiar.
Now it's time to clean the house.
I have an older son too. So my son will be like, why is everybody so loud? I'm like, you live in a house with 3 girls, I'm sorry. So you give this a good shake, and it's a dropper. So you literally, and that's about all that you're gonna use. So, another thing I wanna say is that we always feel, more is better. More product, higher price point, better for our skin. And that's not necessarily the case. That's all you need and I haven't put any on this morning. So I'm gonna go ahead and put
Sandra,
this
someone's
on.
asking if you'll be able to give the names of all the items that you're mentioning. Maybe that's something that we can email over to all the registrants.
That's a great idea, Janet. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
So yes,
will.
Sandra will share the list with us, and then we'll email to you
Yep.
all.
And so the vitamin C, I'll even rub into the areas where I'm starting to see, signs of aging, expression lines. So like in through here. And again, I have those manchas, so I go in through right through here. And so that's how I use my vitamin C. The next thing is hydration, so moisturization. And we have different formulas depending on, again, your skincare complexion concerns. I'm going to show you 3 of our most popular that we have. And let me turn these bottles so that you can see them. And if you have your guide, you can see them from home. But Moisture Surge is another like must-have medicine cabinet hydrator. What's amazing about this product is that it is a oil-free gel. It's for all skin types, and it's lightweight. So you can see how it's a gel texture. And I don't know about you, but sometimes if I'm having, a little party at my house, it's Friday night, you may have a glass of wine or a michelada, your skin wakes up a little bit dehydrated in the morning, and it feels, 2 sizes too small. This helps to plump up your skin. So hyaluronic acid is what I like to call a natural Botox for the skin, because what it does, it helps to fill in the dehydration and the fine lines in the skin. So what I like to do is I put it in the palm of my hand and I press and pat into the skin. So I press and pat, and I kind of let that sink in. And that's, I don't use it every day, but if I notice I'm dehydrated, and what's really great, you guys, is that it's great on your cuticles. So it's great for cuticles. It's great for flyaways. So because it has a lot of hydration, it really helps for like the frizz in hair. So there's so many multiple uses to using Moisture Surge. I can see in the chat, someone wrote in, they love Moisture Surge. Absolutely. Now, if you're more mature and you're older, we have another amazing ingredient called Smart MD. And Smart MD comes, it's a 2-sided moisturizer. And you can see how much I love this because there's hardly any left in here. But Elva, you use this one too, right?
Yes.
And why do you love it?
While I'm getting older, but I do like that it does help me within the couple of minutes that you have it on, you definitely feel the tightness on your skin. And obviously I don't want to age and get older and saggier skin. So this will help me to lift and firm my skin and contour. And then as well as the neck, because we tend to forget our neck. And as we age, our neck tells our age. And so that obviously definitely I love applying that on my neck. So it kind of blends with my face as
And so,
aging.
Exactly. You're starting, and you want to slow those signs down, right? You see them.
That's right.
And you want to slow them down. So the amazing thing is that it has the 2 different formulas so that you can custom fit the application of where you want to put them on your skin. So the darker side here, which is the purple, is the Revolumize. And Revolumize is all about adding volume to the skin. So areas of your face that you're seeing lost of that fat or the fatty tissue in our skin, it's going to help to plump up. So that you would put on like in the cheeks, you would put in the forehead, the expression lines in through here. And like Elva was saying, in through the neck where you want to kind of firm and tighten, you kind of want to pull that skin back and, put a little tape back here if you could. That one, you can use the Resculpt, which is the white. Sometimes I layer them on, like all my tias use this, you guys. And and they, they're like, okay, Sandra, ¿cómo la uso otra vez? Me pongo, and I'm like, you know what, tía? Póngase la morada primero y luego póngase la blanca arriba. Like, you're good. you get the filling and then you get the tightening. So you should see all my tias, they look fabulous. And they still wear tacones, like my Nina was like, like going into like her mid 70s. She still wears her platforms. I love her.
That's the type of vibe I need when I'm 70.
It's a
I
vibe.
think I'm currently.
Yep, it's a vibe. So for those of you that are saying, I don't have lines, I don't have wrinkles, you might be, in your early 20s or 19 like me when I started at Clinique, you want to prevent. You're cute and you want to stay cute for as long as possible. Like that's my philosophy. And so Super Defense, and this is a new formula. Again, I talked about earlier how we are constantly looking at research and development because we just don't settle for things that are good. This formula has been relaunched 3 different times because we're always looking at ingredients and really formulating, based on new research, new development, and new things out there. So what makes this amazing, you guys, is that this has the highest amount of antioxidants, so vitamin C, vitamin E, that actually repair cellular damage in your skin that's caused from UVA, UVB, and even blue light. So, the biggest myth is, like my tía will tell me, ay, pues mija, yo no salgo al sol, siempre me quedo en la casa. Cuando salgo para afuera, me pongo mi cachucha, and I'm like, tía, you're still exposed to the environment. You're still exposed to, your lighting. So, it's not only the sun and the smog and the pollution that age our skin, but it's also ultraviolet lighting. It's also all of the blue light. And, don't lie to me. We're on Facebook Live right now. So you're streaming on a device where you keep looking at your screen, or you're on Instagram scrolling. All of that blue light is being reflected on your skin, and that's also aging your skin. So the Super Defense has technology that's also helping to reverse damage that's happening. It's helping protect your skin and really preventing, signs of damage, of aging to happen in your skin. So that's super, super important. It comes in an SPF 25. So you have a great moisturizer with great ingredients with a high level broad spectrum SPF. And I have to say, another amazing thing about Clinique is that we were the first brand ever to introduce sunscreen in their products in a prestige environment. So in a department store, Clinique was the first company to say, you know what, sunscreen is important. It needs to be in our products because it's what ages skin. And we put sunscreen in products even before the FDA mandated broad spectrum protection. So again, it's one of our points of difference being a dermatologist developed brand.
Sandra, we have some questions.
Okay.
Let's see. Amanda, I have a question relating to wearing a mask and the impact it has on our skin. Any recommendations?
Absolutely. So next month in March, and I call it maskne, right? Because we're wearing these masks and the tugging, the rubbing on our skin, the dehydration, the dryness that's happening. It's creating acne, but not acne as we're used to it from, bacteria, from dirt and oil, but it's really from the irritation. So we have a product coming out within our ID franchise called ID Imperfections. And so it's going to come in, the same packaging, but the base is going to be blue. It's going to be a jelly. And then the pump is going to be red, which is going to help to target the irritation in the skin and prevent the scarring. But if it's something where you're saying, I have it right now, like what can I do? 3-step and having basic cleansing that you're using day and night. We also have another product, and let me see if I have it here. I don't, but it is Acne Solutions Clinical Clearing Gel, which is a spot treatment that you can actually put where you have specific breakout, and it helps to treat the inflammation in the skin. So it helps to treat the kind of the swelling that you have to help bring the swelling down, and it helps to prevent the scarring that happens when you get a pimple or a pustule.
We have another question, Sandra.
Yep.
Trang, I just had a microneedling facial. What should I use to reduce the redness?
Great question. So with microneedling, you're having a lot of pressure, points done to your skin. And so skin is going to become inflamed. It's going to become irritated. So make sure you're not using anything with alcohol. So you're using products that are alcohol free. Clarifying lotion, FYI, comes in a 1.0, which is alcohol free, but you're still getting a low level of exfoliation. So that would be great. We also have a complete skincare line in our redness solutions. So another amazing thing about Clinique is that we have a lot of, I call them little families of products that are designed to address specific concerns. So we have an acne line for, acne. We have a redness line for redness. We have obviously a smart franchise. We have a even better clinical franchise. So we have a moisture surge franchise, like you can see, moisture surge. I have a spray, I have an eye cream. I even have a lip product that I have on right now because our lips are important. But in redness, we have an entire redness line with a cleanser, a moisturizer, and then a green sunscreen that helps to really calm the inflammation in the skin that's happening from the microneedling. It helps to really strengthen the barrier of the skin. It has a lot of marine botanical ingredients that help for the moisture barrier to make it strong. And then that green sunscreen helps to really camouflage the redness in the skin so that your skin is not as irritated.
Someone's asking what step do they use the hydrating jelly?
So the hydrating jelly would be, if you're using Clinique skincare, it would be right after clarifying lotion. So if you're using it, and let's say you don't use clarifying lotion, which you all should be using. If you don't, it would be used after your serum. So you would use your serum first, and then you would use your your hydrating jelly on top.
And we had some questions on social media, and some people were asking, what's your best products for acne or getting rid of acne scars?
So, okay, so that's kind of a two-part. If you have acne already and you have, the pimples and it's active and it's, sensitive to touch, we have an entire acne cleansing system that consists of acne cleansing foam, acne clarifying lotion, and then moisturizer. So that system would be what you use. If you have acne scarring and you have kind of the, the orange peel texture where there's a lot of bumpiness, there's a lot of pores, you want to boost up exfoliation. So another, I'm like the queen of exfoliation. That's what my consultants call me. But total turnaround moisturizer, turnaround overnight moisturizer. Again, sorry guys, I've been using this for like 20 years too, because this has changed name 3 times as well because of the innovation. So I call it just the original name because that's how long I've used it. But turnaround overnight moisturizer is another must have for me because this has 3 different technologies in exfoliation. So it has salicylic acid, it has clary sage, it has acetylglucosamine, which are all different ingredients that help to not only exfoliate and remove that dead skin, but help to speed up cell turnover. And because it comes in a moisturizer, like I'm going to show you the texture of this. You know that feeling, or if you've ever waxed your car, and after waxing your car, it has that sleek where you put water on top and it kind of bubbles. That's what your skin feels like after using Turnaround Overnight. So it's a nighttime moisturizer. And what it does, it helps make your skin smoother and softer in texture. It helps to retexturize skin from that acne scarring. And it helps to make skin smoother and softer. If you have pigmentation, so if you have acne scarring because of pigmentation and you have, a lot of melanin, which is that dark spot, you want to use the Even Better Clinical. an interrupter, because this is what's going to help to break apart that pigmentation. So it really depends on what you're noticing in terms of the acne, in terms of the, post-acne scarring and what you have. And again, it's a custom fit recommendation for you.
We have another question right over here, Sandra. What would you recommend for whiteheads?
For whiteheads are basically blackheads that are underneath the surface and haven't been exposed to oxygen, which is what makes that blackhead black, because it's been hit, with the environment. So because it's under the skin, you want to manually exfoliate. So you want to exfoliate with a manual scrub. We have a manual scrub at Clinique called 7-Day Scrub, which is safe enough to use 7 days out of the week. And it's a manual scrub. So we talked about earlier chemical exfoliation. This would be a physical form of exfoliation. So, and you'll notice here, there's no water in that, but you can see here how it's a manual scrub. And you can actually do this for about a minute. And after 60 seconds, you're going to notice that all of those beads break apart and you get an oily texture. And that's as long as you want to exfoliate. Sometimes I will pump my scrub into my hand. I will pump a little bit of our facial soap on top. And that's how I wash my face in the morning. I like that feeling of clean. Again, I'm oilier, so my skin can tolerate a little bit more, but I want to show you compare and contrast both of my hands, because what you'll notice after you use a manual form of exfoliation is your skin is brighter. And I don't know if you can tell, but like my right hand, I can tell is it looks softer, it's less lined, and it looks a lot smoother on the skin. And so what happens is that your foundation, your makeup, when we wear makeup and foundation, we want it to look like, like Beyonce said, I woke up like this. You want it to look, fresh and clean. And at the same time, you want it to wear all day. So, I'm a mom and I have kids. And so I don't have time to be touching up my makeup. I want to be able to put it on in the morning and have it wear all day. So using, something like a scrub into your regimen, and you don't have to use it every day, but a couple times a week will maintain your skin looking really polished and will help the wearability of the makeup that you wear on top. Any other questions?
Someone's asking that their daughter is 11. Is it too soon to use skin products? And that was actually one of my questions. What age do you recommend for girls to start, anyone to start taking care of their skin?
That's a great question. And it's one that we get asked so often. And, there's so many myths that are out there, and so many myths even about Clinique. The older consumer thinks that we're for the younger consumer. The younger consumer thinks that we're for the older consumer. And the reality is that Clinique is for everyone. We have skincare regimens designed for every concern, because we don't recommend product based on age. And one of the things I always tell my consultants are, you can be 20 years old, and you turn 21, and what happens? You can go out at night, the Red Bulls begin, the partying lifestyle. Back when, there was
Dots be flying.
Yes. And when I was young, it was raves, but now it's, what are they called? Electric dance?
Coachella.
Coachella. Yeah, we didn't have it when I was growing up. But, you can live a lifestyle and age yourself even faster versus, being older and, not doing all of those things and looking younger. So we recommend based on concern, based on lifestyle. And when you're thinking of skin, the younger, the better. I always tell, for my niece and nephew that, my niece is going to be 16, my nephew will be 14 this year. As soon as I started to see, the whiteheads and the blackheads, which is typically around the age where, the hormones kick in, or physical activity or the sports, that's when you want to start skincare, because that's when their pores are going to get clogged. And, when you start off, again, basic skincare, and using, three-step skincare, you're going to prevent acne. You're going to prevent the pores from getting clogged. You're going to prevent blackheads and whiteheads. You're going to use, products that are going to keep the skin looking clean and fresh. The one thing that I would add is sunscreen, especially for kids that are out in the sun. My 7, almost turning 8-year-old is a darker complexion. So if she's out in the sun, I swear to you, like 2 times out in the sun, and she's like 10 shades darker.
Mm-hmm.
Literally lather her in sunscreen, because I'll notice that if I don't, she'll start to get these little white spots that happen when the skin depletes itself from melanin. So when we suntan and when we burn, that's how our skin is saying, I'm trying to protect myself. I'm trying to protect myself. And so melanin is released, and that's what gives us a suntan or a sunburn. Sunscreen, and again, this is in the same orange packaging as our Super Defense. But this is something that is oil-free. It is for all skin types. It has a full broad spectrum protection of 50. And what I love best about this is that it looks like it has this tint. It's actually not a tint. It doesn't give you pigmentation where it helps to give coverage, but the tint in it, and I don't know if you've ever used a sunscreen that's white and you put it on and you have to keep rubbing it in and rubbing it in and rubbing it in. This prevents that from happening. So you can see how quickly I put it on the back of my hand, and it just evaporated and my skin absorbed it in. And so when you're using sunscreen, having that full broad protection sunscreen is protecting you against the UVA, which is the UV aging rays of the sun, and the UVB, which are the burning rays of the sun. So the aging rays from the sun are longer. They are longer rays that actually penetrate through your skin and damage the support structure of your skin, which is what causes lines, wrinkles, and uneven pigmentation, las manchas. Shorter rays from the sun are UVB, which are burning rays. And the burning rays, because they're shorter, are the ones that give you that sunburn and that suntan. So broad spectrum is what you want to use. And another myth is the higher the number, the more protection. The higher the number just gives you more time in the sun to protect your skin. So I like a 50 if you're going to be outdoors, if you're hiking, riding your bike, going to the beach. Again, being in quarantine, I see a lot of people on the street that are, walking their dogs or just walking around the block. Using a high level SPF will give you more time in the sun. So great.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sandra. So we're going to start wrapping this up, but can you please remind everyone how they can reach you if they want to do a one-on-one?
Yep. So I'm going to, if I can share my screen, Janet, can you
Yeah,
give
let
me?
me make you a co-host.
I want to thank my partners that manage the chat. Ariana, thank you so much. Elva, thank you for starting off the conversation. And Laureen, again, you can see her at the store at Montebello Mall at Macy's. She will be there today, guys. So I know some of you have not picked up your bag. We will be in the store today to answer any questions that you have. She'll be able to give you information to help you book your one-on-one appointment. But what you can see here is the free gift that Laureen will have on counter today. So if you're thinking about making a purchase, we do have a gift for you with the $55 purchase. It has a tote bag along with a smaller tote bag. You're getting in there a cleanser to take off your makeup off at night, because you want to make sure you do that. And you also get a deluxe size of Moisture Surge. We have a virtual way that you can actually take a skin assessment. So up on top of this picture, you can see Clinique, clinicalreality.com. Go ahead and take a screenshot of that, because that will take you to our webpage, and this picture will come up. And if you hit get started for Clinical Reality or for Foundation Match, it actually takes a digital scan of your skin. So make sure you do these with no makeup. so it can see the real deal of what's happening in your skin. And Clinical Reality will actually give you recommendations based on 5 different concerns. So that's an amazing tool. I also want to let you know that next Thursday, we have a foundation complexion virtual class that you can make your appointment through Laureen at the Montebello store. And you can see Elva will be on with me, and you'll be able to hear from Elva on her must-have products that she